Welcome back to Undercover. We're here with Matt from Muse. You're back in Australia, bigger than ever. You've just done, you've played to 100 million billion people in London alone.
Right.
And you come out, you get a new album, Black Holes and Revelations. It sounds a little bit different to things that Muse have done in the past.
Yeah.
When did this new sound come in? Still sounds like Muse.
I think we've always had a whole range of sort of experiments we've worked on outside of what has made it onto albums, you know. And I think and we thought it was time on this album to try and bring some of those things out into the open, if you like. And I think so we wanted every song on this album to be something completely different to anything we had done before, you know. So I think it's because our fourth album, and we felt we wanted to challenge ourselves and not kind of get stuck in the same thing, you know, every time, you know. So we thought it was the right time to show some different sides of the band, you know, and I think we did that on this album pretty well. Yeah.
Were you worried at all what fans might think?
Well, no, not really. I mean, I think with any piece of work you do, there's going to be some people who like it and people who don't like it. You get used to that. I think, you know, I think every album we've done has had different reactions from different, you know, either old fans or new people that are just discovering you know. So I think you can't really tailor yourself just to please the people that liked your old stuff, you know, 'cause otherwise you just sound the same all the time.
Yeah, right. And you're more than just the music in Muse, and that's at least what I've noticed over the years of knowing who the band are. Is you know, you've got all this artwork which I have here. This is supposedly, I read that this represents the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse sitting on Mars.
Yeah, absolutely. Something like that.
That's actually true.
Yeah, no, that kind of came up through a discussion with Storm Thorgerson. There's a guy who did it. He sort of does surreal photography, and he kind of became famous for doing all the Pink Floyd stuff, you know, all that kind of weird surreal album covers they do, and we sort of had a meeting with him, and he said he wants to do something around the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and I wanted to do something to do with Mars. So we kind of just literally met in the middle and did that. Yeah.
Wow. Is it tough to let someone else in and have these suggestions?
No, I think it's the best way. I mean, I'm a musician. I'm not really a visual artist. I wouldn't really want to pretend to do that. I think a lot of bands do claim they do that, but really you spend most of your time collaborating with artists or video directors, that kind of stuff. You know, I think it's best. At the end of the day, they're the people that are directing or behind the helm, if you like. And I think it's good to collaborate with them as much as you can, as opposed to just dictate. You know.
Yeah, right. And there's a book out on Muse.
Right, yeah, that's nothing to do with us. Well, it's about us, but it's certainly not anything that we've been involved with, I don't think. What's it called?
Inside the Muscle Museum.
Right, right, okay. Yeah, that's. I think it's like an unofficial something or another, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's some journalist.
How do you feel about someone who's gone and written all about Muse without consulting you about it?
Well, they phoned up the manager and said, "Do you mind?" And we kind of went, "Well, yeah, so long as you state we don't mind, so long as you state that it's unofficial. You know, it's nothing. You know, it's nothing that we've really been involved in." And I think there's all sorts of weird, suspicious interviews in there with weird old friends that we don't really know and people we may never even met who are telling all sorts of stories about us. But no, it's a bit weird, isn't it? But you know, what can you do? You know, it's a weird world, really.
Let's talk about the live show for a second. It's come a long way since the first time I saw you in a small club. Now you have the light show and all of that. How did all of that creep into it?
Well, I think,
and do you look? I mean, is it the band that actually decides what it is?
Yeah, no, actually we are very involved on that front. Live, so I think because we're just a 3-piece. I think we originally we kind of felt that it was good to kind of bring some other sort of visual elements into the gig, because just looking at us three might get a bit boring after now, you know. So we thought it was good to start trying to bring some visual elements, and it started off with just kind of usual kind of bringing in video bits and pieces, and the last tour we brought in some kind of more prop type stuff, this kind of satellite thing that was moving around, and just kind of ways to keep to stop people looking at just us, you know. So I'm not sure if it's that interesting, but I think we've been getting more kind of custom films made, you know, that kind of synchronise up with the songs and stuff, and try and sort of give the song a slightly twist on the meaning or something, you know.
You had the lyrics coming up at one point
there you go, yeah.
on the screen the other day. It's like a big karaoke show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, you want to get everyone singing along.
Yeah, you must be getting used to people actually looking at you now, though. Like I said earlier, you did you played to 180,000 people in London in 2 nights.
Right.
At Wembley Stadium.
Oh, we haven't done that yet. No, we're doing that in June. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Right, yeah.
crazy talk.
Yeah, stadiums. Yeah, it's scary stuff. Yeah.
What's that going to be like? I mean, Wembley Stadium is an important place. You know, it's got a lot of history with Live Aid and
we're very, very nervous on that day. I think. I think it's our first day. We're doing about 4 gigs like that now in the summer. A couple in France, a couple in England, and but we played to big crowds before, but only in festival environments. Like sort of maybe 100,000 in like Reading, Glastonbury, that kind of thing. But there's something more. I think there's something more spectacular about when the crowd are kind of around you, and up high as well. Sort of you kind of get this full surround where everywhere you look there's just people. I mean, we did a stadium in Tokyo actually, which was a smaller one, like a baseball one, but that was it's pretty scary stuff, But it's great when it goes well. It's an amazing feeling, because the crowd when that many people are cheering, it's just quite deafening, and it's a good vibe.
So are you planning something special for that show, or is it?
Well, I think there's a few things we're going to try. We might try and do a B stage for the first time, like having a stage in the middle, like in the round,
Yeah, right.
Doing a few songs in there. We might get a couple of choppers, helicopters to come in and do kind of searchlights to kind of, because you can't get any lights above your head because it's sky, So we might get some lighting coming off some helicopters, or maybe a big blimp or something. I wanted to get like a big one of those, you call them blimps over here?
Yeah.
Those inflatable things, like one of them that we can like project video onto, so that it will be above the gig, so people in the surrounding area can see it as well.
Wow. I suppose if you're playing to, 90,000 people a night, then you're going to want to do something bloody special.
Yeah, you've got to do something, I mean, I think it'll probably be the usual, we'll probably do a big kind of array of video screens or something, but I'd like to do something that kind of incorporates the whole stadium if possible.
What's it like when you come out here in Australia? You play to, you're still playing to a decent sized crowd out here, but certainly not 90,000 people a night.
Well, I like it. I mean, we've become very used to changing the kind of venues we play in all the time. I mean, when we first started touring America on the last album, we were not known there, so we were playing these really small bars. And it was quite weird. We were coming off playing big festivals, big stages, and then suddenly going into these kind of 1,000 capacity clubs, and they were all kind of like falling over all the time, running into each other all the time. So we're so used to kind of having a big space to play on, But we learnt the hard way. I actually split my lip open on the first night in Atlanta because I fell over, and because I was trying to pull out some big weird pirouette move or something, and I realised the stage wasn't big enough, and I went colliding with the drum kit and fell on my face. But I think after that day, we became used to playing in big places and small places, enjoying aspects of each.
Yeah, right. And you're about to go back to America and tour with My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Which will be
that should be
interesting.
Yeah, they're playing in a lot of places we haven't been to before, a lot of the Midwest, So it's good to get a chance to play to a new audience there, So I'm looking forward to that.
What's it going to be like playing to their crowd?
I don't know. The truth is, I don't really know much about them, to be honest. It's
have you seen them on the big day?
No, not yet. No. I'm always asleep in the daytime, but so I'm real lazy on this tour. Well, not that lazy. I've been staying up too late, so I keep missing a lot of the bands that are playing earlier on. I've seen the Killers and Jet a few times. They're good guys. They're good band, but I haven't made it for them yet. But yeah, I should come and check them out. I think, because I've heard they're pretty intensive crowd, haven't they? I think so.
It'll be an interesting crowd for you to play with. You after you leave here, you've still got 2 more big days. After you leave here, you're off to what was it? Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur, Taiwan, and Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Have you ever played in places like that before?
No. We've been to Singapore. We've done the gig in Singapore before, and we played.
Singapore's fairly Western city.
Yeah. We played in Japan a few times, but I suppose this is our first time doing a broad tour of Asia. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be really exciting. I love playing places for the first time.
Yeah, right.
And, so it should be good fun.
Wow. Well, anyway, thanks a lot for coming in.
No worries, thanks.